So these are the manufacturer standings after 4 rounds, as Mitsubishi have now tied for the lead with Ford. And Citroën still has an 18-point advantage over the two, and Hyundai is still at the back with just 2 points. So let's now head on to Argentina for round 5. Don't need to show the introduction movies, you've already seen them before. You can always go back and watch those in the normal championship videos, which are basically the rallies by their full names. So, let's go to Argentina. And so we begin round 5.
1, go! Into right 1.
Let's see if we can manage to make this 5 rallies out of 5. Especially since I pulled off a rather unexpected comeback win last time around in Spain. And so far, so good, as I am 4 seconds ahead of Tommy Mäkinen in the Mitsubishi so far. And still 2 seconds up. So lost a bit of time there in that second sector, but it's okay because I'm still leading as I get pretty close to the fence, but not close enough to make any significant damage to the car. And now I have gain time again. There are definitely certain sector splits where the AI do seem to be faster than me, but also where I seem to be faster than the AI. And it looks as though my speed limiter might be reducing my speed through some of these corners. Or it could just be on the straights in general. And 1 second behind in the end. Probably doesn't help to say that I finished and crashed at the same time. Well, at least I can say no one needs to send out the paramedic, because I hit it frontward, not driver's side. Well, I hit the wall from the front, not driver's side. Okay, on to stage 2. So 1 stage is down, here in Argentina, and it is Tommy who wins stage 1 over myself and Richard Burns, with Kenneth Eriksson 4th, Didier Auriol 5th, and Freddie Loix in 6th. And Colin McRae is best of the rest in the second Ford Focus. Well, correction, the leading Ford Focus. And here are the rest of the results for stage 1. So 1.11 seconds is the gap. Believe it or not, we do actually have an emergency service unit in the UK that's called from dialing 111. Even though I won't tell you what exactly that refers to. But to those of you who are my UK viewers, then well, you obviously know what 111 means here in Britain. Or more or less Britain, if you will. So, P7 to P12, and here are the rest of the results. Okay, on now to stage 2, and where we have got a wet one. This ought to be interesting.
Three, 2, 1, go!
So, stage 2 here at Argentina is a wet one, and it's also fair to say that because we are high up in the mountains, I've also noticed there is a cloud cover. So I'm pretty sure we're no doubt in the middle of a cloud burst. Not necessarily a storm, but definitely what feels like a cloud burst. And at this time, I am not doing very well. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see how the rest of the stage pans out. So we'll see what the case is. I'm also pretty sure that helicopter is there to get replay shots. And 2.2 seconds is now the gap, so I'm dropping even further back to Tommy now. It looks as though Tommy is seeming to be the stronger of the two of us at this time. And in saying that, I managed to get a second up, because I just kept my foot in the throttle. And I basically floored it. And over the line... I finished 2 seconds up on Tommy. So that now gives me a 9/10 lead after stage 2. So I now lead the rally for the first time by 9/10 of a second. And have I had any recent replays saved in stage 2? Oh yeah, I had Monte Carlo, didn't I? I think I'll save the replay after the next one. But anyway, these are the results from San Agustin. 2 seconds over Tommy, 3 seconds over Richard, 6 seconds over Kenneth, 9 seconds over Didier, and less than 12 seconds over Patter, as Colin McRae finishes best of the rest in the first of the 3 Fords. And Alistair McRae didn't have a bad run in that stage either. And as ever, we have the bottom 3. Okay, so Colin McRae now moves up into the points, and I think it was Freddie Loix who was in the points before. He's now dropped down to 9th. So I now lead by 9/10 of a second virtually over Tommy Mäkinen. And these are the rest of the results, with Petter Solberg being best of the rest in the second Subaru. And these are the other results, with Piero Liatti being at the bottom. Now we move on to stage 3, which will be another short one.
3, 2, 1, go!
However, this time we have got clearer skies compared to before. Even though obviously we're still up in the Argentine Alps. But either way, we've now got a much clearer view of the road in front of us compared to before.
100 right 3. Into left 3.
As I currently lead the stage by 1.5 seconds now over Tommy.
Into left 4. And right 4.
The only question is, how much further can I go?
50 left 4. And long
Hopefully I'll manage to go far enough,
100 very long
but
left
we'll
4.
wait and see. So 3.6 seconds is now the gap.
50 right 3 over crest.
So it looks like this is going to be where I edge myself further away
100 caution over jump.
from Tommy.
50 caution jump. 50 caution jump. 50
And I now have a
don't touch.
less than 5 second lead up front.
50 caution over crest.
So,
very long left
not doing
4.
too bad so far. Here in stage 3.
Long right 3. Into very long left 3.
But as ever, we'll just have to wait and see.
Right 3. Into left
I'm not
2.
going to jinx it,
Over crest. 50 left 4.
but I do wonder if it's possible.
Over crest.
I'm not going to jinx it, but is it going to happen? Not quite. It almost happened, but not quite. I still won the stage in the end by 3 seconds though, so it's fine. Okay, 3 stages down, and we still have another 2 to go. This one is going by pretty fast. I'm also pretty sure I should save the replay now that I think about it. Okay. This is now episode 20, and also the third rally I am now doing today. So these are your results. 3.33 seconds over Tommy Mäkinen, Richard Burns 3rd, Kenneth Eriksson 4th, Didier Auriol 5th, and Carlos Sainz in P6. And Petter Solberg is best of the rest in the Subaru. And Thomas Radstrom ran a good stage as well. He finished P11. That's nice. And here are the rest of your results, as Piero Liatti is at the bottom. So now got a 4-second lead over Tommy, Richard Burns 3rd, Kenneth Eriksson 4th, Didier Auriol is still in 5th, and Colin McRae just holding on to 6th position at the moment, as it's currently Carlos who is best of the rest in the Ford Focus. And here is everyone else, with Piero Liatti being at the back in the 3rd Hyundai. So, fair to say that I am keeping this rally close. But as to judging whether I win this rally or not, well, it's going to depend on knowing who precisely comes good in these last 2 stages.
3, 2, 1, go! 50, right 3.
Okay,
Into
time now for stage 4 of Rally Argentina. I have a 4-second gap up front, so it's still very much all to play for as I continue my battle with Tommy. It's going to be hard to tell if this either will or won't be a rally I win. I did have a 4-second lead, so it's fair to say that if I can set a good time here, I'll at least come away with a top 3 finish. Although the way this stage has started, it's not going too well at the moment. And I am making a lot of mistakes at the moment. Fortunately, however, I have not lost too much time yet.
50 over crest, into hairpin left.
And that's a wall. Yep, I think I just lost the rally now. As a result of me getting pretty much getting hung out to dry by that rock. Yep, that's pretty much the rally win handed over now, the way I see things. Because it's pretty clear to say that rock hung me out. Unless I can really get the power down for these last 2 sectors. And I'm losing even more time. So it looks like Tommy is going to retake the lead here, unless I can really come good in this last sector, but I don't think that's going to happen. looks like this is going to be where the win streak potentially ends. And Tommy now retakes the lead in the rally. So I think it's fair to say that San Marcos, Sierra, definitely one of my lesser stelling stages. So 4 stages are down in Argentina. And it looks like this is where I will lose the rally lead. So Tommy wins the stage, then we had RB in second, I finished third, Colin McRae fourth, Alistair McRae finished fifth in the Hyundai, scoring a top 6, and Carlos Sainz finished in P6. So it's nice to say that both the McRae brothers are inside the top 6. And Kenneth Eriksson is best of the rest in the Hyundai. So I think it's fair to say that Hyundai will definitely come away with some points after this. And here is everyone else, this time with Marco Martin being at the bottom. I think Alistair has left it too little too late. He is not going to score any points here. I am now 2/10 back of Tommy, so still every possibility to say that I can win this rally, but if I don't, then well, I'm okay with that. I do have a pretty sizable gap up front anyway, so I don't think it really matters. And these are the rest of your results, with Piero Liatti still being at the bottom in the Hyundai. Alright, final stage of Rally Argentina. I'm 2/10 back. Let's see how we do. And the final stage of Rally Argentina is a wet one.
1, go!
Well, we'll just have to wait and see how we do.
Left 4.
If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. I think conceding a loss at this point is not going to be too much of an issue, because I did have a pretty sizable gap up at the front anyway, so
50, left 2.
I don't think it's really like I'm going to just suddenly lose all the time in the world just because I concede one runner-up finish. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Tommy might be on pace to win the rally here, because right now I'm just making too many mistakes. I'm not really in it to win it at this stage anymore. I've kind of made one too many mistakes. It was a 2/10 gap heading into this stage, and I'm still behind Tommy, but that's okay, because it's not going to matter in terms of the points lead, considering I still have a pretty big one anyway. I think the only thing I really need to focus on at this stage is just scoring points wherever I can. And yep, I've gone straight into the tape. Really didn't want to damage the car there, but that's okay, because, well, even if I do finish P2, I'll still get some decent points, because it's not necessarily winning all the time that wins you the championship. It's a case of you scoring the most points, because consistency is what wins you championships. Winning wins you respect, but it's also important to consider the long-term gains. Just keeping yourself in the hunt almost every week if possible. Well, looks like Tommy is going to come away with this one. He has beaten me fair and square, and I will gladly accept that. He was ironically the first guy to beat me in the previous championship as well, in Corsica, if I recall correctly. because he did beat me by less than 3 seconds. And although I was too tired to really care about that one, this one, I think it's fair to say that I have been beaten fair and square. I probably didn't need to brake at the end, but I think Tommy has got me, because he did still finish ahead of me by a second. And you know what? Personally, I accept that. We fought in a fair fight, and I was beaten in a fair fight. Even though I still somehow come away with the top overall records, in spite of me finishing P3. But either way, Argentina is done. And although I may not win in the end, I will still come away with the points lead regardless. Because that is what I'm thinking about right now. It's nice to have a couple of wins here and there, but when it comes to the overall win, you have to think about the bigger picture. So Tommy is going to beat me here in Argentina. My win streak ends at 4, and in all honesty, I'm okay with that. So 1.45 seconds in the end was the margin of victory to Tommy. I kind of figured my win streak was going to end sooner or later, as Richard Burns wins the final stage here in Argentina. And just before we continue, I do have a replay saved, yes? Okay, that's good. So there's your top 6, and Carlos Sainz finished best of the rest in the Ford Focus. And Francois Delacour had a pretty lowly stage by Ford standards, as he finished P14. And Harry Rovanpera finished at the back in the 4th Peugeot. So Tommy wins the rally, myself in 2nd, Richard Burns 3rd, Kenneth Eriksson 4th, Didier Auriol in 5th, and Carlos Sainz finishes P6 in the Ford Focus. And Petter Solberg was just a few seconds behind scoring points, as was Colin, I might add, and Freddie. So P6 to 9 in that rally, pretty close. But anyway, there's your best of the rest orders, and here is everyone else. So Tommy Mäkinen becomes the first driver who is not Filip Bugalski to win a rally. And these are the point standings now after 5 rounds. 46 points to me, 26 points to Tommy, 23 points to Carlos, 4 points to Richard, 2 points to Didier. Well, yeah. So, I still lead by 20 points over Tommy. Carlos is 2nd. Sorry, Carlos now drops down to 3rd. Okay, let me start over. I now have a 20-point lead in the Drivers' Championship, as Tommy Mäkinen wins in Argentina, becoming the first driver who isn't me to win a rally in this championship. So then Carlos finishes P3. Carlos is now down to P3. Richard Burns is still P4, with Freddie Loix still P5, and Didier Auriol now moves up to P6 with Kenneth Eriksson, as we have a 2-way tie. And the drivers who have scored points still stands at 12. Well, 5 rallies down, let's now move on to the next one. I suddenly forget where it is. Anyway, stay tuned for the next one. And these are your constructor standings. Okay, stay tuned for the next rally.